guys want to shoot that, we're ready.
Ready. Thank Nick. One more and last.
Pick a good episode that doesn't.
Welcome to the Talking Hogs podcast, starring the Talking Hogs. Guest star, TR. Let's go. Hello and welcome to Talking Hogs, the only podcast that pisses clean. The rules are simple. 2 pigs will battle it out. Actually, 3 today. We'll battle it out to appease the will of the Hogfather. Only one will be God, and the other 2 shall perish in the flames of hell. But along the way, there's pitfalls and traps for the friends of the family to fall into, and things of the sort. Are we ready?
Yes, our Father.
Well then, may the gods have mercy on your soul. Ladies and gentlemen, back to the show, TR.
Hello.
Yes.
Thanks for having me back.
Welcome,
Absolutely. Keep a good Hogfather down.
The man was hanging, and I said, it's time to fucking bang.
Put him to work.
Let the boy bang.
Let the boys play.
Bam. Alright, so
Let's
first
get
off, the first thing I want to talk about real quick is Shithouse. Daniel, Aaron, I have messaged you guys about Shithouse the other day. Do you recall that?
Yes,
message?
remind me of Shithouse.
Remind me of the legend.
So, the legend of Shithouse goes like this. My neighbors the other day, Jessica, my wife, my darling, beautiful wife, she sent me a text message. She goes, there's a truck in our front yard. I might actually upload this picture to social media. It'll probably be pretty good to do that.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, there's a truck in the front yard with a trailer pulling another truck from the neighbor's front yard. That's where we're at right now. And I tell her, I'm like, hey, do you need me to come home? I'll come home. I'll talk to him and see what's going on. She goes out there. It turns out my neighbor is moving. And Jessica's like, well, why are you guys moving? And he says this. He goes, hey, there's a lot of shit wrong with the house. So both of our houses were built in 1973. They're older homes. I had the benefit of having an uncle before he passed away, kind of remodeling a lot of the house, right? Well, these guys did not have that same luxury. And what ended up happening is the sewage in the basement had backed up to a point where there is a 2 to 3 inch fucking floor of shit in the basement.
No.
And he said it's covered in black mold. Okay. Here's where it gets better. Okay?
What?
It's not my neighbor's fucking house. We had no... Why would we know?
I thought you were going to say it's not my neighbor's shit. And I'm like, where did it come from?
It's mine. So what ends up happening is they never took the necessary steps to fix a problem like that. They let it go too far. Shit builds up now. Boom. Basement of shit. On top of that, other pieces of the house are starting to fall apart because it's an old house. And the final thing that happened was there's a young boy who lives in the house. He's 15, 16, 17, in the teenage range. And he had this pretty young girlfriend. He took her over to the house, probably trying to get his, de-essed. And sure enough, she slips in shit mountain.
No.
What? She slips completely into shit
There's
mountain.
no coming back from that.
And then so after that, the neighbors are completely and totally abandoning the house.
Good reason.
Aaron, Daniel, they're leaving the house. Now that house isn't in my neighbor's name; it's in his sister's name. And get this, he's not fucking telling her.
Nice.
I'm about to have a straight up, legit abandoned house right beside mine. Now, guys, real quick before we move on to today's episode, what would you do in that house? Starting with Aaron.
You shit a house full, you move on. Throw it away, buy another one.
Right?
That's how it works.
It's like it's not worth the money.
Dump it, burn it.
The moment they go in there, they're going to have to change, because I have copper pipes there from fucking 1973. Someone comes in my fucking house, it's going to be a situation.
Now, nothing too big, but a quick aside, silver lining, always looking at the bright side. I did like the idea. It sounded like when they were moving, they backed them trucks up ace to ace, they docked, And that's a good idea. That way you only got one drive and you got twice the carrying capacity to move a fraction of the gas.
Yeah, you just take the one in the back and put it in reverse.
That's a good idea.
And one person drives it backwards, and the other person drives truck forwards.
There you go.
Now, TR, you actually have the most kind of knowledge and experience in this kind of area. What would you do with a house like this?
An abandoned house? I mean,
Full of shit. It's an abandoned house full of shit. What would you do? Would you say, we'll get that bomb dollar price, we'll get some guys in, we'll fix it, or
that's what we normally do, yeah.
at 110%?
But what are you doing? I guess you're just going to throw a big party over there, right?
Here's what I'm going to fucking do. The moment I know they're
The
all
shit's
the way
in the basement, right? It's not-
110%.
Yeah. Do you smell it upstairs?
I haven't been, not yet.
You've got to smell in the house.
I'm about, here's what's going to happen.
Blade plugins.
100, all over. Every plugin's got two. Upside, one's upside
Down,
up and the
upside
other.
down.
Breaking the breaker with too many blades.
Daniel, what do you think about shithouse?
Listen, man, life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. You're missing the potential here. What I see is Town Redacted's first psychedelic mushroom grow off. It's dark, it's dank, it's already growing mold. We don't need any proof that it's good for it. Get some mushroom spores, put them down there, and that's money on top of money.
God bless. What a terrific way to end this.
Wow.
One of the best episodes of all time. All right. Excuse me. Here we go. Are we ready for the episode now?
Yes.
Ready.
Correct.
Nostalgia. A sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past. Typically for a period Typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. Breaking away from my traditional form of trying to one-up my stupidity on a weekly basis, I thought with my first few episodes of 2023, we can have a discussion on this very topic. Is everything better or worse?
Okay.
How strong are the rose-colored glasses we glue to our eyes? Because it's not the same as it was. That's today's episode title.
Beautiful.
Originally, Aaron, I'm looking at you. Originally, a medical term coined by a Swiss medical student to describe the anxieties of Swiss mercenaries fighting away from home. This was also at some point just called the Swiss illness. And that sounds like enough meat to make our first game of the day called What That Sick Do? I'll put a country beside a sickness and you tell me what it is. We're going to go round table here, starting with whoever rings in with a Generation 1 Pokemon.
Oh, awesome.
All right,
I
are
was
we ready?
for the Swede one, yeah, like Disease Cheese Whiz. It's where it's all clabbered down there. It ain't
Yeah,
good.
it's just coming out in curds.
No. Whew.
We're going to start off with an easy one here. American asthma.
Wait, and what are we doing? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're going to make this shit up.
You're going to ring in with Squirtle.
You're going to wing him as... Okay, and then what is American asthma to you, Daniel?
American asthma is when you get a bad case of cheeseburger lung.
We'll go to Aaron. Aaron, American asthma.
American asthma is asthma of the hands, not the traditional asthma of the feet the rest of the world experience.
Correct.
All right, and TR, what to you is American asthma?
American asthma to me is all those fucking idiots who used to huff duster back in the day.
That's what they are.
I froze my lungs.
Point TR on that one. Next up, Brazilian bronchitis.
Charmander.
Okay, Aaron.
Brazilian bronchitis is a bronchitis that strips all of the little inner hairs out of your bronchial tubes, needed to help pass things along. So you get stuff gunked up in there.
A little bit of gunk.
Yeah.
TR, what to you is Brazilian bronchitis?
Brazilian bronchitis. It doesn't sound nice.
It's not. Because I made it up.
You're not saying that's the best bronchitis.
I think it's probably what you get. Maybe when you get one of those big Brazilian booties right on your face.
Yes.
And fart down your throat.
Yes.
And it's the illness that comes from that.
Oh,
Yes!
Otherwise known as pink throat. That's awful.
Okay, you definitely don't want pink throat.
Daniel, go ahead and give me that little slice of Brazilian bronchitis.
Well, I mean, instinctually, I want to say that Brazilian bronchitis is just regular bronchitis with a fat old ass. But I would have to say that it's reminiscent of the Brazilian nut, one of the hardest nuts to crack. So, like any Brazilian bronchitis is just real hard to fucking get rid of.
You can't bust that nut.
Nope.
Not with normal means.
Not in Brazil. Not legally.
You gotta use 2 hands.
Thanks, Obama.
All right. Next up, Scottish septic shock.
Oh. Alexa
Squirtle.
Buzz. Oh.
TR.
That's definitely when you take Johnny Walker, dip a tampon in it, and stick it up your cooter.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
I
how
like
you
it.
do it.
Scottish
Sounds real.
septic shock. Daniel.
Scottish septic shock is just having to work in the sewers in Scotland after Haggis Fest and just seeing what all is wound up down there.
It can't be good.
If you're shitting out things that are comprised mostly of shit to begin with, the shit resulting from it cannot be.
It's just coming down the sewer plains to like fucking sewer. Oh God.
It's like that
Sewer
thing from
piles.
Akira. It just comes up like eyes rolling around in it.
This Halloween. Aaron, up to you. Scottish septic shock.
Scottish septic shock is where a traditional Scottish person's diet, too much cheese and haggis, that blocks you up, the shit piles up inside of you, no escape, no surrender.
Yeah, isn't that like something you find on like a UFC tap out shirt?
Oh, he's got him in the Scottish septic shock.
All right, up next is Canadian cold sores.
Alexa Buzz. Canadian cold sores are what you get from just apologizing too damn much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gave you an aerial.
There's a big fucking welt in my lips. I'm sorry. Aaron?
My face has leprosy. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Canadian cold sores, that's what you get when you have too much health care. They've eradicated everything else, so this runs.
Right.
All we got is herpes. That's the only thing
Whatever
left.
doesn't
All
kill
you
you
can
makes you
have.
stronger, you need some disease.
You gotta have it. TR, would you like a toss of that?
I feel like it's always the champy season up there, and it's just from them licking their lips over and over again. From the cool breeze.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love drinking beers.
You know, like when
And-
kids that do that too much, they lick their lips too much and they turn red and chappy.
Face
Yeah,
just
you just
fall
want to cut their fucking tongue off.
Oh yeah, I was that kid with that mule mouth.
Were you?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
beet red.
Yeah, they had to
Split and
they
crack.
had to put you in. You know, they had to really lock you down.
Lock me in a room.
Yeah, they had
Boy's got mule mouth.
boy, let the boy play, coach. He can't. He's lit.
got mule mouth.
And finally, Russian ringworm.
Let's go with Lapras
Okay.
and
Good
Russian
dragon top.
thing. Yeah.
Good for the elite. Whatever.
Oh yeah,
This
Lapras.
is in no way, shape, or form dragon.
It's
type.
not a dragon,
But you can
it
give
works
it
against dragon
dragon
type
type
because you can
moves.
give it Blizzard.
I understand.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Daniel.
I lived through 1996. Okay.
Russian ringworm is a ringworm. It's much more dangerous than regular ringworm because it implies there's a group of ringworms in there doing that little Russian kick dance. So you can see it kind of like bursting through your skin a little, like the way people touch someone pregnant
Yeah.
stomach and they feel the baby
They
kick.
love that.
You can feel the ringworm kicking when they dance around there.
TR Russian ringworm.
I'm with him. It's a lot like regular ringworm. It shows up on your skin, but it's from drinking too much vodka, and it shows up in the shape of a hamlet city.
They never left.
What? What's the big problem? Daniel, Russian ringworm. Bring it home.
Russian ringworm, honestly, it's very similar to your regular style of ringworms, and it's given the means of production back to the worker.
Oh. Wow. God. Freedom through work.
That's the proletariat.
All right, moving on. I'm
Hey,
going to give
what's
that one to TR.
By the way, quick shout outs to first time chat. What's up, cunt juice?
Hey, come juice.
Some Jews.
You actually sound like you would fit right in.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the fucking
You're
club,
home.
man.
I've
Or
done it before. It's
whoever.
delicious.
Sit down, have a good time.
I love alright, so nostalgia is associated with a longing for the past, its personalities, possibilities, and events, especially the good old days or a warm childhood. There is a predisposition caused by cognitive biases such as rosy retrospection, for people to view the past more favorably and future more negatively. When applied to one's beliefs about society or institution, this is called declinism, which has been described as a trick of the mind and as an emotional strategy, something comforting to snuggle up to when the present day seems intolerably bleak. So when your grandpa says racist shit and insists that the world is a vicious hellscape, it's really dangerous, Mrs. Being a kid.
Yeah, like the 70s weren't a vicious hellscape.
They just miss being a kid.
Like eating lamb was it?
I love serving it, nom.
It was the best war ever.
I enjoyed watching my friends die.
They deserved
Did you
it.
enjoy that, Papa? Did you like it?
What's our excuse? What's our times are different? Times are different.
You know, I miss when they was only a couple buttons on a controller. Too many goddamn buttons now.
Yeah.
Damn touch.
I don't need 2 joysticks.
It's
One was
convoluted.
enough. You hold down the L to lock and aim. It's not hard. Just one's fine.
God bless Texas. Nostalgia at times seems like a poison to those who constantly live for it. Where do you both, where do all three of you today stand on this point? So again, nostalgia at times seems like a poison to those who constantly live for it. Aaron, do you agree or disagree with that statement?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That's you can't live solely in the past, or you got no future. You gotta. I mean, as beings that are servants of time, you have to have something to look forward to. And if you're only looking at the past, then you're just looking out of one eye.
One eye, third eye blind?
Third eye's blind, baby.
I wish you'd step off that.
My friend.
I would understand. TR, to repeat myself, nostalgia at times seems like a poison to those who constantly live for it. Where are you on that?
I think it's right down the middle. Okay.
Okay.
There's a man named Tony Soprano. I love to reference the Sopranos.
Absolutely.
He said, "Remember when is the lowest form of conversation," and to a certain extent, that is true.
Fuck yeah.
You know, like if you're thinking high school was your best days or whatever, man, I wish I could go back and be, you know, the quarterback again, or I wish I could go back and bang that chick or whatever. I feel like that's not where you want to be. But remembering things fondly, absolutely okay.
Yeah. I really have to second what TR says. I think there was an age of my life where there's definitely a lot of like remember when, but as Aaron always says, if you're bored, then you're boring. Like if you're having to bring that shit up, nothing makes me more. And I know you'll back me up on this. Is when you see somebody you haven't seen in a while, and you see them out, all they have to talk about is the glory days. It's fine a little bit. It's okay every now and again.
You got 5 minutes of glory days.
But yeah, and it's just self masturbation. And it's really not classy. It's not a good look. If you're hammered, wasted, it's just the two of you on the back porch at 3 a.m. Fine. Fine.
That's every other time I'm here with you.
It's got to be consensual. You don't pin someone down and make them watch you masturbate. If they're in on it, okay.
Yeah, if they want to jerk you off, let them, yeah. But I mean, if they're not asking, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Now, to continue this, is nostalgia even at some points dangerous? Aaron.
It can certainly be dangerous. To expect only what you've had before, it's too rigid. We usually want rigidity, not in this form. If you're inflexible to change, to opportunity, then you're going to not only deny yourself opportunity, but hell, you might just die.
Well, TR, where are you on this? Is nostalgia something that can be also dangerous?
Yeah, absolutely. You could find yourself repeating mistakes you made in the past, and you want to avoid that at all times.
Absolutely, I enjoyed that. Daniel?
Nostalgia can be dangerous. Like I can actively sit here and be like, I think we need to push forward. I think we need to look towards the future. I think we need to be awake to new ideas. But I'm loving watching Castle Wolfenstein. Like, there's a part of it that is that nostalgia. But I love that game. But I also love the modernity of what's actually going on. And I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about video games, and they were like, "Weren't they just better back in?" I was like, "No, they were trash. I like modern graphics. I like depth and storylines. 8-bits were great because that's what we had. But like, let's face reality. Shit's better than it was in some aspects. And two, nostalgia can be very dangerous in the fact that people aren't willing to grow and progress and accept new ideas and thoughts. And that is the most dangerous part of nostalgia. Literally, the connotation of the good old days makes my insides panic. Because every time in my life living in the South, when I hear the phrase, the good old days, it's about to get bad fast.
That's also a very valid point. The good old days in this area means radically different
Correct.
from a lot of other areas.
Yeah.
We're 40 years behind anyway. Then you take it back to the good old days, like what, 1860?
God, back when America was great again. Moving on. Nostalgia's Greek roots of the word literally mean homecoming and pain. While nostalgia is mostly triggered by negative thoughts and feelings, psychologically it actually is processed through the emotional part of your brain called the Aaron what?
That's the Sarah Hellum. It's so good.
Good. That was fucking hilarious, dude. TR.
Mind's Eye? Are we looking for the real answer? Is this Jeopardy?
Fucking
What is the Mind's Eye?
That works. Mind's Eye. Daniel.
Limbic system.
All right. All y'all fucking wrong.
Yeah.
The amygdala. Oh, fuck. I can't read. Amygdala.
Amygdala.
The
Fuck.
amygdala?
I'm stupid, Stu.
Oh, the
Medulla oblongata?
amygdala effect.
You
That's
really
where
think we
things
know
are.
it if you can't say it?
Yeah, I can't. Well, it's because he's got all them teeth and no toothbrush, right? Now, this in turn actually is supposed to raise dopamine levels, so yes, it makes you both depressed and actually happy at the same fucking time.
Nice.
So even back hundreds of years ago, people were still thinking about the good old days. What a perfect time for another game called Way Back When!
Yeah.
I'll give you a group of people in a time in history, then you tell me what they would reminisce about. We're going to ring in with an old person that I didn't write down in my directions. Alright. So, British soldiers on the beaches of Normandy as D-Day began. What were they thinking about? What was that good old days?
That's a ringing. That's my old man
Okay,
ringing.
alright,
Right?
do it. Old man ring in. Okay, for the old man ring ins. Daniel?
Spanish flu.
They were like, God, I miss.
We need another Spanish flu. Wipe out this whatever young generation. Because you know the old generation, like in World War II, was mad at like the 16, 17-year-olds going off to war.
You tell me there's not one bastard on that beach, at least one, who was watching the bullets fly, and as each one went down, quitters.
I miss
I'd rather
polio.
get shot down than die by the Spanish flu.
Oh yeah.
So I'm against you guys on that.
Yeah,
When I
yeah.
was
Alright,
young,
okay.
Die for a cause.
Alright. So, Aaron, what would be your good old days for these British soldiers? What were they thinking about?
Oh, they just they're thinking about crumpets.
They
Just in delicious cheese
I would think of crumpets and how mother used to bake them.
Just like mom, and nobody make them like mama.
TR?
The good old days is that big titty pale bitch with a hurt back home with bad teeth.
God, her
That's
back,
what they're thinking
her
about.
back hurts so fucking bad.
gnarled up. My husband's in the war.
I miss Gertrude.
So
She sucked
fucking
that
much.
stomach in, took that laudanum just for me.
Ring in with an old man bust. Legendary pornographer John Holmes as he decided to do gay pornography to keep up with his drug habit.
No, that was not right.
Aaron?
Let's say that again. Legendary. It was he was thinking back to his time making home videos when he first began.
When he just pulled his penis
on
out
this
soft
journey.
just for fun.
Just him, just by
Just record it with his big
all
shoulder
by
cam.
himself, you know. It was simpler times when it was just him.
Like an 8mm.
TR, what was John Holmes thinking about before he got his dick sucked by a man for drug money?
Let's go to Daniel.
Daniel!
I mean, drugs first and foremost.
I told you this was a bad idea.
But one, drugs, and two, really just his high school sweetheart. The school mascot, Grumpy the Pig.
Yeah. God, I wish it was her.
I wish I was fucking that pig. Curly, straight.
TR, you want to take a stab at it? What was he thinking, man? It could be anything at all, buddy. What was it? He sat there as he's beating off feverishly into a fucking mirror looking at himself at the end of like Boogie Nights with Mark Wahlberg. He's like, I still fucking got it.
I guess he's finally ready to make some money.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Well, there wasn't any money in straight porn, so he had to go gay.
Yeah, pretty much.
It
Yeah,
was-
he had really. Y'all gotta do some research on.
Or did he have like some kind of like money problems? Yeah.
It was just like as porn progressed, it became less plot. It became more Gonzo style, scene by scene by scene. And that was something that John wasn't super into because 70s porn was like, if you watch a scene of 70s porn, it's like 6 minutes long.
We've talked about it on the pod before. You got to think outside the box and be somebody.
Be somebody.
You didn't tell me I was gonna have to know vintage porn to do this.
Brother, welcome to Casey's Lane.
Good Lord, you said it was gonna be good for this episode. I'm sorry, guys.
We're getting to your part.
Oh,
All right,
I hope so.
JFK as he rode through Dallas. Who
Was
was
it the last thing to go through his brain?
What was?
Oh!
It's hanging too low.
Daniel, do you want that to be your answer?
Oh, we're still ringing in with first generation Pokemon. Oh, we're looking with old
Oh
men.
man, fuck it, dude.
When's Hardy's open?
There you go.
Yeah.
So what was he nostalgic for?
Yeah.
When
He got in his little motorcade. He looks to his wife and he's like, "Here we go,
He's
another
just-
bright day in Dallas."
that day he was lost adrift at sea during World War II, and he had to drag all those people to that island. He made a raft out of nothing but men, and he just rode it. to
Ah,
shore.
yes. We're gonna make it all the way there.
My daddy said that stream couldn't happen. Our Mayor Quimby or just Mayor Quimby's all I got, man. That's the best I get.
Aaron, what was JFK thinking about right before he got in that beautiful motorcade with his beautiful wife?
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, he's like,
God, you took it from
He was
yeah,
addicted to meth at that point in his life.
probably. I would
No,
assume most
definitely.
presidents were on the meth. If it's good enough, I hit TR.
Literally.
Aaron, you're supposed to leave me on the softball.
I know, I'm damn it.
There's nothing, even if it's Marilyn Monroe saying it to you, it's still cringy to have happy birthday.
Boy, it's really uncomfortable. when you
I
watch
don't
it.
give a fuck who it is.
We get to double down on that one because who ain't nostalgic for that? Come on.
We can double down on Maryland. We can go with
The balls of that, man, is like what always gets me. Like every time you watch it, you're just like everybody in that room's just like, oh fuck, 'cause everybody's in on what's going
Think
on
of
in
how
that
tight
moment.
their assholes are. Just.
First off, JFK's wife was so fucking fine too.
That's
Jackie
not what it was
O
about.
is a
That's
dream.
what it was about.
It's a power move.
It was a power move for JFK, and he had like one. He was hopped up on meth for his back that was broken in his like it was like Crohn's disease, but that's all I can think. It's like Legionnaires or something. I don't know what it was, but he had something fucking wrong with it.
Rose disease, dude.
But his doctor would shoot him up with amphetamines to keep him going. And he's like, he would say if he didn't bust like 3 or 4 times a day, like he couldn't do
I
his
heard
job.
that. Yeah, got
A lot of people have that problem.
I can't complete these multi-million-dollar deals without emptying the fucking clip.
That's
You gotta
20
keep
few
it
ropes
like
where I
that
can
at
get
all
to work.
times.
Oh, a loaded gun's a dangerous one.
Bingo.
Moving on.
I'm sorry, do you know what it's like to be the president, Daniel?
No, I don't. I'm not knocking the man. I'm just saying.
Man has needs.
Elvis says he takes his final shit.
What's
What was he nostalgic for?
Oh, my niece says it's gonna rain.
Hey, that's what an old man says as we bust.
My niece says it's gonna rain. It's about to rain for sure.
So he's thinking of that. He's like, man, I wish I had that ham sandwich that took out Mama Cass. I know it ain't true, but he's thinking of that ham sandwich.
But what if he like reaches behind the toilet? He's like, oh my god, it's here.
It's moldy and black.
This is the same time.
Kept it in the tank.
It's like the brood witch from Aquitaine. Tina, want to take a stab? What was Elvis thinking about as he took his final shit? Could be anything.
Memphis ribs.
God damn it! Sorry,
Get off his turlet. I'm gonna
The
get
stickiest.
I was fixing to say, is Memphis ribs a dry rub or a wet?
No clue.
Never been there, never
Don't
had
want
it.
to say because
You know,
I
I forget.
You've been there.
I've been.
You've been to the studio,
I've
you
been-
son of a bitch!
God damn it! All the Knowledge of Sun studio in Memphis. I can't even tell you.
All I
what.
got was this damn coffee mug.
I'll tell you what I do know is that Carolina style's that bastard ass mustard.
Fuck you, Carolina Styles win.
And the white sauce, too.
Come
What's
get
up
me.
with that? Who wants a white barbecue sauce?
Okay,
I know that shit.
okay, so that's the Alabama white sauce.
I
use
thought that
it.
was Carolina.
Is it Carolina? I've had Alabama
Carolina's
white.
a mustard. It's
Carolina's
yellow.
mustard. Yeah.
I
Okay.
believe Alabama's white, but I could be wrong.
I believe you're right there. But I
Let-
mean,
I have went
it's in
to
the
a.
name.
Let me tell you this. Points, Aaron.
Fucking both, either way.
Yeah.
I mean, finally, and this is something that me, TR, and Aaron got to. Now, you were in a different car, and I believe I was riding with Samantha and her then BF, name redacted.
Yeah.
The Shield Man. Macho Man, as he took that last drive through Florida before his heart fucking exploded, we were all on the road. We were all on the road. I believe me and you probably texted. Macho Man dies on the way to Gulf Shores, Alabama.
I think it might have been Mandy's birthday. I think it was June 3rd or something, wasn't it?
We're not going to put this on that one.
It was May 10th, 2011.
It was, when was Hangout Fest 2011?
No,
It was late May,
May
early
10th.
June. It had to be late May. Or
it was May. I think.
May.
Well, but anyway, yes. I didn't remember the year as well as you
But
did.
what did Macho Man think of that? He was in his car, he's driving, probably listening to REO Speedwagon, or, you know, running on empty. You know, what was he thinking about?
I never should have eat all those Slim Jims.
Valid point. TR, what would Macho Man be thinking about that last drive? He gets in his car, Miss Elizabeth, WrestleMania 7, WrestleMania 5, any of that.
That's tough. That's a good one.
Once again, Aaron, I hate you for taking this off.
That's me.
Did Aaron say Slim Jim for real?
Yeah.
What a wash. What a wash.
Worst episode ever.
No.
What a
You
wash.
guys for real. Fuck it. I am fucking delivering.
Here we go. Give it to me. Macho Man as his heart explodes right now. What was he thinking, Daniel?
Oh, Macho Man, like, all I can imagine is, like, he's just a young boy back in Sarasota, Florida, just riding on an alligator, smoking a doob, and, like, this is it. This is what I've always worked for. I mean, he's in his Jeep Wrangler, wife by his
One
side.
can only assume.
He's got Puddle of Mud playing on the fucking jam boxes, topless 1992 Jeep Wrangler. His heart just pops. He's like, this is it. This is the best I'm ever going to do. And, like, he's nostalgic for that moment right there. That was the peak of Macho Man, right there.
Now,
Right there in that moment.
I could legit see him like thinking back to like, man, I wish I wouldn't have like tried so hard to make that poor ref kiss Jake the Snake, and he got his eye bit. I feel bad about that.
I like to imagine he's like, Bowen Saw is still revving. After all of these years, I finally got a call from Sam Raimi. I'm coming in from the best Spider-Man film ever made, Spider-Man 3. Here we go. Bowen Saw.
Yesterday's newspaper now.
Oh
I
my
feel like Atomic Elbow Drop was kind of a lame move.
Wow.
I'll do a hot take.
Okay.
Oh,
That is a
yeah.
hot.
He's a big guy. He could have done something.
Sure,
He could have, and I agree 110%.
And he's acrobatic, but what about the application of the Atomic Elbow with Hulkster's championship belt from the top rope to the outside of the ring, like with accessories, with +2 weapons, like the justice and just the general insult from that impact.
I think
Something
like
else.
if you're making a trophy, like the way you've got like who was it, Bill on like the MVP trophy for the NBA, or like any number of like sports trophies where you make an icon out of one singular move that like no one else delivered an elbow drop like Randy. He was statuesque in it at least. He's the guy that you bronze and gild.
If you think about wrestlers whose finishers are high flying, Macho Man with the elbow, and I would say even Rey Mysterio's finisher.
Yeah.
I was about to say, Macho Man walks so that Rey
619?
Mysterio can run.
Could fly.
He
Could fly. Could
You-
fucking fly.
Give me some
Booyah,
frog splash.
Rock splash, baby.
6'1".
RVD.
Eddie Goodell. And yes, of course, Rob Van Dam, the whole fucking show. Moving on. Let's see what we got. God, I got this again. Now, we're going to kind of fine-tune this into some of the deeper things in nostalgia. Now, TR, here's where you're going to start shining, brother. Television. Television. I am the youngest member of the show at a svelte 31. As my fellow hogs are just a hair few years older than that. It's safe to assume that we shut the fuck up. Don't let me make. I will fucking. Y'all want to get burned? We'll burn. It's safe to assume. It's safe to assume that we all can speak on the greatest decade of all time, and that's the '90s. First off, do we agree on that?
I don't know. The 80s were pretty rad.
The '80s were pretty rad.
Yeah, even I've been more of like a late 60s, early 70s. If I had to pick one, I guess 60s, baby.
You know, I can stand up for the 90s. I think the 90s were a pivotal point where people were trying things then that we've got right now, that we knew what we wanted, but we were pushing. I speak specifically of the video telephone that was a prize on most Nickelodeon games in the 90s.
It was a great time to grow up.
It
It was certainly, yeah.
Children's television was at its apex.
Stick Stickly raised me.
A glorious pre-9/11 America. Well,
Look at all the shampoo I can take on an airplane.
it still had more than its fair
I
share
could
of
use my
shit.
buddy's ticket.
I just walked on with a gun.
Well, it still had more than its fair share of shit, but anyone who has lived through that time period all the way to now could definitely agree with me. Or, is that just another victim of nostalgia? Aaron, are we looking back on the 90s as a great decade or not? Where are you at on this while I go piss? Boys, keep this conversation.
It was, I mean, regardless of what you think is best, the 90s were a fun fucking time. You had, I mean, this is the birth, really, of the technological boom. We got, goddamn, and for better or worse, we got the damn internet. We got social connectivity like no others. Oh, baby.
Well, I mean, for me, it's the children's television. It's the children's television was what really set the 90s apart for me. Cartoons. Focus was put on toys.
Oh,
Toys were
advertising through toys.
We were humming on Toydom.
Toy-based television.
Yeah.
It worked both ways. Toy-based television, television-based toys. It worked however you wanted it.
There's a whole series of Transformers lore. It's just toys. It's just
Super that'll put your eye on.
Yes, Dave. Still close enough to the 70s and 80s to have the toys be dangerous, but far enough into the future to give them a technological edge.
Oh man, the old school gung-ho marketing guys just with raging boners, like, oh god, it's all working.
And lest we forget the infamous soda wars. I know we all lost some family members to the soda wars.
Baby. Oh, tell me about them late night
Cassettes and CDs living together in harmony.
You know how you see those license plates on trucks? It's like a house divided, and it's like a half Georgia plate, and then the other half is like a Tennessee plate. It literally should be a house divided, but like half of a Coke license plate and half of a Pepsi license plate. Because my family comes from both sides. Mom's side, Coke people. Dad's side, Pepsi. Makes sense. My dad's side, kind of more poor. So Pepsi is kind of a lower income soda.
In my family, there's only one Pepsi person, and he's a pervert. We don't hang out with him.
Ooh!
It's a hard look Pepsi.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Coke is the shit.
That is by, you know what's weird? That's actually by design. Do you know Pepsi actually lowered their prices to be put into lower income neighborhoods? Like, that is all a huge fucking thing. It's genius.
That's some straight up government shit.
It's good marketing.
Oh, I'm back for my pee, by the way.
It's good marketing.
I love peeing. Peeing is one of the funnest things you can do. Alright. We're going to start with Aaron with this one. Aaron, what was your favorite television show? Actually, what was your favorite shows growing up?
Oh, wow. So, shows in general growing up. If we're getting truly...
We don't have to go super into detail. If you just want to rattle off a few, we'll go back around.
Oh, yeah. And some of these will only be for true old heads. So let's go with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Let's go with the animated show Ewoks. Let's go with pretty much anything that Nickelodeon fucking threw on, baby. Let's go with
Dan
every
Schneider.
fucking offshoot. TMNT. Let's get them Shark Bros. Oh, God.
Street Sharks.
Street
Sharks!
Sharks! Street Sharks.
And biker mice.
Yeah,
Mice.
Michael Mouse.
Airplane snakes.
The list goes on.
Fish tanks.
TR, we'll go on to you. So what was your favorite shows growing up? Both animated and non, as Aaron
Okay,
also.
Pee-wee's Playhouse. Was a big one.
Huge
one.
What are you doing?
Aaron's
Alright.
falling apart.
Aaron's
Aaron's
working
working
on
on
that.
What's the
Beer
fuck,
cans
man?
falling
My
over
segment.
fucking
Anyways. Pee-wee's Playhouse. I liked Beavis and Butthead Celebrity Deathmatch.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Anything Nick Games and Sports was incredible.
Why did they get rid of Nick Gas, dude?
I know.
Will
That was
blow
a
my
great
fucking
channel.
mind
Yeah.
forever.
They're posting for Nick Ass.
Bring it
Dan
back.
Schneider production.
The cartoons were the best for us too. I mean, we had Rugrats and Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, all that stuff.
God, there's nothing nearly as good. Like I think
I'm
the
not gonna
last.
come up with the best shit.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though, because I have young boys as children, and I watch some of the cartoons that they watch, and there's just nothing that compares.
No. We'll start a petition, man. We're going to get gas back.
Daniel, tell me your favorite shows as young boys.
Listen,
in the 90s.
I was a Nickelodeon person for sure, all the way around in all forms live action cartoon. But listen, there's one that we're forgetting and one that we can't omit that ties, with probably the exception of Tier, ties all of us together, and that's The Simpsons. The heyday, the powerful era of The Simpsons is like 1991 to 98.
We were watching it live.
And like,
come out live every week.
For us, you're absolutely right. For us, these quintessential episodes, these ones that are like classics, we watched them as they came out. Season 5 and 6, like it was banger after banger after banger. It was every single week. I remember the Springfield Files episode first aired. I remember seeing commercials for it, being excited for it. I remember because it came on after the World Series, and I was always pissed as a kid because I had to wait through stupid baseball and football to get to Simpsons time. Like, for me, it's The Simpsons. If I have to put my hat on one, it's that.
From 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, late 90s on Fox, what would be on, but even older Simpsons episodes.
Right.
That's how I got indoctrinated into them.
Did y'all bounce back and forth from Fox affiliates to get like the 2 hours of Simpsons? Like you have to hit Fox 11 at like 5 to 6, and then from like 7 to 8, you bounce over to Fox 24 and like check the other.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't a diehard on Simpsons like that. I do like to watch it. I've seen a lot of episodes, but I like, the TGIF lineup was always good.
Perfect.
Right.
Snick. That came on
Snick was what? Yeah,
Yeah.
usually aired on Snick's side.
Get a little Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Melissa
Keenan
Joan
Kel,
Hart.
Roundhouse.
yeah.
Damn, fucking, what was that, Alex Mack or
Alex
Alex
Mack, yeah. She could turn
We can't talk about this.
Damn. Alright, so, Aaron, back to you. Was there a time period, a time period, a channel, a place that you would watch these? What was your layout? So you're a child. You're a young man. What's the situation?
If you're going to go with a specific time frame, I'm thinking exactly middle school for me, which was going to be the late 90s. We're talking like 96, 7 to 2000, something like that. And I was trying my best to get home for the original fucking run of Toonami.
Bingo.
That's what introduced me to anime. Give me that Dragon Ball. Give me that Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Give me that shitty old CGI reboot. Oh, baby.
We're talking before Tom. We're talking when Moltar was still the host
Oh, yeah.
of it.
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
How many of y'all remember Motok? Damn.
I mean, we had
Reach
like,
out in the
we
comments
had
on
four-
Twitch.
we had 30 episodes of DBZ, and then it started over.
Yeah.
That was all we had.
Going for a young, budding teen
for me.
man,
Never
Sailor
jerked off
Moon.
the hentai. I'm not with you guys.
I was just the only anime you could get me into during the 90s was just Dragon Ball Z. That was the only thing. Everything else was above my head. I could not fucking get it. TR, when you were watching these shows growing up, where were you at? Like, so what was your time period, your channel, your place? Where were you at?
I mean, I'm sure it was, probably Saturday night Snick. I'm probably sitting in my room on like one of those weird little rocking gamer chairs that maybe we had back in the day that kind of sat on the floor with no arms and that kind of thing, or maybe like a beanbag or a blow-up chair.
The Tommy Hilfiger beanbag.
Yeah, totally 90s bullshit. And I'm watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? I'm a little bit scared, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because it was a little bit scary. I mean, it was definitely scarier than Goosebumps.
But then they show something funny, like Keenan and Kel and all that.
Yeah, who loves orange soda?
Kel loves orange soda.
And where's Kel now?
He's a youth pastor. I just saw it online not too long ago.
Yep.
Yeah, he's working for the Lord now.
Yep.
He's been assimilated.
Oh, God bless Texas. With
Do
his
the
own
bit.
things. Now, Daniel, young man, where are you at?
Man, I'm in the downstairs living room, in the floor, in the cheaply put together entertainment center, and like that's Simpsons time. So that's like the hour and a half before dinner was finished cooking, and I ran upstairs and was eating dinner as fast as I could so that I could get back down in time for the reload of Simpsons on the next Fox affiliate over. So like to me, the association of like the smells of food being cooked kind of triggers that Simpsons response for me sometimes, because that's my memories as a child. Like it's the 5-6 o'clock block where mom's getting dinner ready, and then you like gotta shove it in my face. Probably had a lot to do with any eating disorders I might currently have.
But we're talking nighttime. What about right after school?
Oh, that was all straight jerking off time.
Oh, really?
That was 3-4 hours straight. Like
Wow, man.
just
Because I
wow.
was like Stickly and shit like that. You come home, make a hot pot after
Six.
school.
Oh yeah, well true. There are microwave Totino's pizzas involved there, and then there's what was that weird show with the action figures on
Action League
Action League Now.
Yeah,
Love that shit.
And Milkman with the power to melt.
Yes.
Perfect.
Stinky
Thunder
Diver.
Girl.
This is a nostalgic episode.
Aaron, real fast, did you have any TV crushers? Name me off of just a handful.
Ooh, yeah, we named some of them earlier. I mentioned Melissa Joan Hart, Clarissa Explains It All, and Alex Mack, the Miss. She was wonderful. And again, I'm repeating. Some people will hear that in the mic, but for a young budding teenager, first time seeing anime, Sailor Moon the entire night. Oh, Sailor Mercury, my fave now.
TR, TV
She's
crushers.
She's goddamn smart.
Definitely. what's his name? Ben Stiller's wife, and Hey Dude.
Oh,
Yes.
I forgot she was in
Yeah.
fucking Hey Dude. God damn.
Yeah,
okay.
can't forget about her.
Okay,
Big one.
respect. Anything else that you can rattle off the top of your head?
I'm sure I'll just chime in a second. Go ahead and get it.
That's
Daniel.
fine. Daniel?
I'll think of another baby.
I'm in
Christine
on-
Taylor.
I'm in on
There we
these,
go.
but I have one that I know is truly unique, and for this I am sorry the most. The host of the Big Comfy Couch.
Moving on.
Too old for Big Comfy Couch.
No, I was a weird child. I'm like 13, still watching kids programming.
It's fine.
I love Stretch and Tom.
Yeah, I bet
I
you
love
did.
Stretch and Tom. Woo!
She was a clown.
Why was she so sexy?
So, now, real fast, do any of these TV shows that we have mentioned in this past little block, do they hold up now?
Yeah.
Oh, several.
Couch is great.
Yeah.
I would-
Especially some of those cartoons in the 90s with jokes way over our heads then that we get now. Yeah.
Yeah. TR?
Yeah, they still feel good. They hold up. I mean, there's dated jokes and bullshit like that, but you're watching it for that. So, yes.
Exactly correct.
So-
Daniel?
I'll say this, I mean, Simpsons of that era still holds up. It's still the best that it was ever made. But I think all that still holds up. At least first two
Sure,
seasons.
absolutely.
I mean, we all know it's dark, scary past, but like, those episodes hold up. They're not bad. They're good.
Yeah.
Keena Thompson, sketch
And
comedy
oddly
his whole life.
I'm
Oddly
super
progressive for
happy
their
Keena
time.
made it.
I'll say this. I'll defend them on this one because we were watching all that's on Netflix. Like,
Boy, Beth Denberg, dude.
oddly progressive. It has its moments that
She's
don't age well, but like, considerate of other people and beliefs and religions and creeds and races, fairly considerate, given the time period.
That little, the smallest one, she did a badass Ross Perot. That's still a good Ross.
Yes,
Perot.
dog.
Amanda Bynes, who is
No.
permanently fucked
That's
in the
not.
head.
That's not Amanda Bynes. I
No,
know who
it's
you're
somebody
talking
else.
about.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember her name.
Oh, shit.
It's not Lord Beth Denberg.
It was
It's,
the tiniest one. I can't remember.
she's only in it for like a season
Talk
and a
about
half.
a dated reference, Ross Perot. Look him up.
But she's great as Ross Perot. I know that.
Anybody on Twitch, fill in the comments. Who's the tiniest tiny on all that? As much as we loved our TV shows then, we do need to set aside time to discuss the artistic beauty of 90s television commercials. In a game called Commercial Appeal, I will describe the product, and you will name it, or tell me what it does. Ring in with a Stephen Urkel bust. I mean,
Oh.
that's right, I said
Let's do
Urkel.
it.
If you know, you know.
Wait, Stefan? Or
I said Fawn.
I think that counts.
That's where I'm
so you
at
gotta be
right
smooth, you're not dorky.
now. Exactly.
Okay.
No,
All right.
Now-
one with the other.
Only three here. They're going to be a little tough. The Betty Crocker Bacon Fill had a commercial that showed two separate pans, one dome-shaped, to bake cakes with this special feature.
Did I do that?
Wow.
That's to put pudding in the middle, if I'm not mistaken.
Ting, ting, ting. Daniel with the point.
Danny.
You make the dome, and then when that cake is baked, you fucking fill that some bitch full of icing. Which is wild to think about, just cups full of icing inside this one little
Just
pot.
reach in, pull it out.
The kids love it. I remember watching it on
It's a mess.
That
Legends,
makes sense. I mean, you bake a cake to bust deep.
and that's canon. Each monthly issue of this children's magazine. Now, real quick, this was
Already know it. Already know it. Already know it.
Each monthly issue of this children's magazine went into detail over a single animal.
Fucking shit, I got suspenders on up to my armpits and I'm having sex. I'm Steve Urkel. Here we go. It's goddamn Zoo Bucks.
It's fucking Zoo
Sorry,
Books.
TR, I just
See,
can't.
okay.
Wow.
I can't.
Do we all remember Zoo Books at the
It was
table?
either
Yeah,
that or
but I didn't have
highlights
that.
or some bullshit.
Right.
Like that.
Exactly. Now, finally, this large retailer, that's your biggest hint, this large retailer was known for his credit card commercial where a cop was holding a man to the wall with a credit card. What was the retailer?
You said it was a toy retailer?
No, it's just a large retailer. Think a big box retailer.
I'll just give it a shot and
It's a hard one.
hey, Mr. Winslow, do you mind if I take your daughter's hand in marriage?
Laura.
I'm just gonna go with Sears Roebuck.
That's wrong. You
Carl, I filled Laura with my cum.
Okay.
That's Discovered.
No.
No?
It's large retailer.
No sweat, my pet.
Hey.
Kmart is literally the closest answer so far. Anyone want to take one more final guess?
Ew.
Toys R Us.
I was
Macy's.
thinking that, but if Kmart was KB Toys, I don't know.
No. Guys, it's gonna be a Target. That was my rough question of the time. But there was literally a commercial where he had the card back behind his back. God, that was a good
I'll
time.
do it. I'll charge it.
Now, the sounds of our youth stick with us to this day, for better or worse. So now we're on to the music portion of the 90s, or whatever the fuck you want to go from. Aaron, we'll start with you. First CD you got.
Oh, this is canon too. Very
Yeah.
first CD I ever bought, that was an EP that just had covers of the same single. It was only one single song. That was "Are You Jimmy Ray? Who wants to know? Who wants to know my name?" Jimmy Ray, baby.
Perfect. TR.
My first CD player was the Discman, that didn't have the skip on it. It would skip all the time.
Oh, yeah.
My dad gave me 2 CDs. No, I don't know what the question was.
Oh,
It was
my
about
bad.
CDs,
I
but
thought I got it right.
I got a Discman that skipped like hell, and I got 2 CDs. My dad gave me George Thorogood and the Destroyers,
Fuck
Greatest
yeah.
Hits, and Tom Petty's Greatest Hits.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck yes.
2 CDs. I
Okay.
had 2 first CDs. They got them at the same time.
What a
Nice.
great damn job, Dad.
Nice. Daniel?
Here's the answer I tell people when I want respect, and that's Green Day's Dookie. But the actual answer, the truthful answer, Elton John's Greatest Hits from McDonald's.
Hey, that's still, I think, respectable. See,
Whoa.
y'all all did better than me. Jimmy Ray fucking sucks. Like, the first CD I bought beyond that, the
Oh, that's
full
fine.
album, was Weird Al's The Food Album.
I feel like that's a better
compilation.
question. What's the first CD you got for yourself?
Okay,
Yeah,
Green
Mine
Day's
was
Dookie
given to me. Yours was given to you.
Green Day Dookie was the first one I bought. I went to McDonald's and just for a weird thing, they were selling CDs. They were trying like an adult, not an adult Happy Meal, but like an adult toy thing for a little while. They were doing CDs and
Blue Jean Baby.
my dad got fucking Tiny Dancer,
Yeah.
#1 track on that song, played it till it came off.
Mine would be my first CD I got, Ricky Martin's Livin' La Vida Loca.
Hell yes, buddy!
Did you buy that, or was it gifted to you?
Grandma gave that to me on Christmas.
Oh,
Granny.
Granny saucy.
Hey, Grandma ruled. Alright, now first CD I bought, Metallica's Ride the Lightning. Let's go ahead and do that one real quick. First CD you bought.
Can I ask real quick, is that the granny I've met? The super fucking awesome granny?
Yeah, my grandma did.
What a badass.
Yeah, dude, Grandma rules.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Alright, first CD you bought, go.
First CD I bought with my own money, that was Weird Al's The Food Album.
Yes. TR?
For me, it was the self-titled Presidents of the United States of America.
Great
Ooh,
album.
respect.
Great album.
Alright, so
Green Day's Dookie was the first CD I
Alright.
bought.
so we can all agree that Aaron has the
Aaron
worst.
always wins.
I love Weird Al.
I love
think
Weird.
of that.
That's a great album. It's
cannot
one of his
think of
best
that.
albums. I'm on Aaron's
Well,
side.
I know, I can see what Casey's saying though. It is a compilation album. It's not an actual release.
But it's Weird Al taking into account that is who he had become at that moment. It's him poking fun at himself because he'd become the food
yeah,
guy.
yeah, okay.
So that's why there was
Layers.
layers. It's always layers with him.
Alright, moving on, because this one's bulky and I'm into it.
Let's go.
Aaron, first favorite band, rapid fire.
Oh shit! I didn't really develop much of a musical identity until I hit high school.
What was
So I
that?
think-
Tell me then.
Okay, well then it was the Beatles. That's kind of lame. I think really, if I'm being honest, in like middle school, it's probably Smash Mouth.
That's fine, dude. That's fine.
Wow, King on the
TR.
sun.
I think really the first one that really hit me big and just changed me was probably like CKY. I hate to say it, but
No, it's all right.
between the movies, all the videos, the skate videos that predated Jackass and all that stuff, and being on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater
Yes.
and all that shit. Yeah, that was totally me.
I'm the same fucking guy, dude. Daniel, first favorite
I'm
band.
kind of on Aaron's because we inherited our parents' musical taste for a while. Would be Styx. Like my first favorite band was Styx, but like of that era, listen, don't hate me for this, but I really dug the Cherry Poppin' Daddies. I think was like the first of that time. But it was a zoot suit right in my house. I don't know about bands.
Always a suit right, baby.
It's hard to really discern when it became yours because, like early, like Mama even had us in a Paula Abdul, and
Right.
I don't dislike Paula Abdul now, but
I liked NSYNC a lot when I was a kid.
You liked what you heard riding around in the car with your
Yeah,
parents
right.
back
You
because it was
listen
on the
to
radio.
them.
The shit was different then.
now
Nobody
Alan
listens to rock
Jackson
radio.
still carries through. For
Yeah,
me.
I still like Alan
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah,
I still
yeah.
like all the classic rock and all that stuff that I heard.
My mother's love for Duran Duran has fully passed on to me. I
Yeah.
fucking love Duran Duran. They roll ass. But my own favorite band, The Offspring.
Hey,
Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Oh,
That was my
I saw
intro
them
to
tour
punk.
twice.
Wore the wheels off that one, didn't we, boy?
Yes, we did. Welcome to Americana, please. So, fun one here. We've discussed this before, but just for our new listeners, if they are here, where did you get your music?
Oh, well, there were things called record stores, see, music stores back then.
Let's go more specific. Are we talking Sound Shop,
Sound
Blockbuster
Shop.
Music, or Turtle?
I'll go back further than that.
Turtle went beyond. That was newer. I had Sound Shop.
What you got, Tio?
All right, back before the mall, has anybody ever bought a CD or a cassette or a record from Skydog Records?
No.
It's an auto parts store now. They're kind of near. You remember, like I think it's like Carol's Fashions and that little strip mall.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
But it wasn't in that. It was right next to it. And I think it's like an auto parts store or something now. But
Up on the church side where TJ's is? Or
close to that, yes, close to that.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a
Holy
place
shit.
called Skydog Records, and that's where I used to get mine.
How
That was
nice,
before the mall.
man.
Now, of course, there was Sound Shop and there was Turtles and all that
Right.
stuff at the mall before.
Damn, dude, that's fucking rad.
Hell, I went to Spring Hill Church of God up there.
Yeah, man.
So, this is back when we had a strip club in Dalton, too. Remember that?
That is a
Paper
long conversation for the Patreon that goes deep in that Casey's family.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah!
Yes! Patreon.
Pay money for it.
Patreon, let's just say Casey is deeply, deeply fucking tied to paper dolls.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Daniel,
I
where'd
mean,
you get your music?
We can go Turtle Sound Shop, all of those. Mom worked at Chatsworth Sales, and Chatsworth Sales for a very period of time had a small collection of mostly country. I got Sawyer Brown there. I got, I guess, Tucker Carlson. I guess he's a country musician. I don't know. Just anybody named like two names like that.
Yeah.
Skeeter Magoo. All of them. I get a lot of country albums from like the Chatsworth Sales. That's what I think went nailed down.
Oh, man. That
Yeah.
Chatsworth Sales.
Chief and Video pop a couple CDs out of now and again. Gas station CDs, I got a lot of those.
Yeah.
I bought cassettes at the gas station.
Get those too. I got a Creedence Clearwater cassette from the gas station I absolutely adore.
I
My
see a
very
resin.
first thing
Resin?
I ever
I
owned
see.
was a cassette tape, and it was, again, Weird Al in 3D, actual studio release.
Perfect. Now, actually, like, judging from y'all's music that you just kind of listed, my next question is, does any of that music hold up now?
Yes.
And honestly, yes.
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 It's like Beginnings did, Little Parcels, but the in-betweens did, and the meat of it. Like, I don't give a shit about Smash Mouth or whatever other shitty poppy thing I was listening to at the time, but Weird Al, Alan Jackson, that kind of stuff, yeah, still there for me.
TR, let me ask you this question specifically, man, because me and you both are like, we grew up on Jackass, we grew up on BAM, we grew up on all that.
Yeah.
Where are you at on CKY now? Can you still, like, you hear some of the deep cuts? And
Yeah, there are some of the deep cuts that I still enjoy.
Still enjoy.
I still like Human Driving High Five.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Shippensburg.
Yeah, dude.
There are some really good ones. Yeah. But I don't listen to them as much as I used to. But I still listen to them. But there's the stuff that I cut out is like earlier, cringy stuff in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Nickelback Silver Side Up.
Same,
Me
brother,
too,
same, brother.
dude.
I can't rock's first album. We've all been there.
But I'm cool with Linkin Park. I don't consider that cringy.
No, dude.
There's some
fuck
stuff
no.
that you do get rid of, though. You know.
Yeah.
Can we all agree that just the early 2000s, like the 90s, were good? There's some really good music now.
I used to have a Savage Garden CD. So,
too.
you know,
Cheap cherry cola. Cheap cherry cola, dude.
On the Nickelback
Well, I
note,
want you, but I don't know if I need you, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I die to find out. How
But there's some really good
my
shit.
sacrifice.
Chad Kroger's Love Letter to Spider-Man, my hero, I still good shit.
Ah, fuck. We better move on because we are
lost
4
in
hours
the
in.
ground.
We are hours in. All right, so we're gonna go to the game portion now because I feel like we can all have our little hands into that. Aaron, fast first console.
NES, original.
TR.
Mine was the NES as well.
My money or other money?
Your other
That's a
money.
good question.
Other money.
Original NES.
Damn,
Okay.
look at us across the board. We
My money. Here we go.
My money, Nintendo game.
Wait, no, not my money. Our family money.
Okay.
Super NES.
Oh yeah, you're a little behind.
Yes.
I already said my money's GameCube.
My
Got that
okay,
Platinum Edition.
I love the GameCube as well.
Yeah,
My money, original big ass fucking Game Boy, green screen, everything. I needed it to play Pokemon. My neighbor sold me one for like $10.
You ready? My money, 360 Xbox.
Dang.
Which Aaron
The same
has is in his living room
Layers.
right now. Layers upon layers. All right, back to you, Aaron. First favorite game.
Well, the first favorite game would have been that Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt combo on the NES.
You can't beat it. TR?
That is really hard to beat. But there were other good NES games too. I really like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Mike Tyson's Punch Out was hard to beat.
Yes.
I put a lot of hours into that.
That so
Did you beat him back?
No.
Damn.
Fuck no. But I made it to him.
Yeah.
TR was actually with me when I beat the Wii Punch Out. Yeah, we took so fucking long at your house. I was so obsessed with that goddamn game at your house, and I apologize.
Another game that I really love for the NES that I don't think anybody else is going to have any appreciation for, but I'm going to say it anyways. Blades of Steel.
Yeah.
Steel. I remember playing it, but we've all got like one I was thinking of in my head. I've got A Boy and His Blob. I don't think a lot of people
Video
really
game?
got into that one.
Yeah, say your
console.
first favorite video game, Daniel, and then y'all talk about that.
First favorite video game would be The Empire Strikes Back for the NES.
That game fucking
shit,
rules.
really?
Yeah, where you gotta like hook the cable on the
Oh,
AT&Ts
yeah.
and fucking loop them. It took my like 5-year-old brain weeks to figure that shit out. Like, you just couldn't comprehend it.
Those games are ruthless, man.
Yeah,
A lot of that old NES shit.
we had an NES
I
one.
think a lot of them were unbeatable.
Because I liked The Simpsons. What was it, Attack of the Mutants?
Oh, yeah.
That was hard as fuck.
It was
Space
a bar, like
Mutants.
Radioactive Man or something like. What was it? Some kind of radioactive bar game.
Was that one?
Oh, yeah.
Arch Nightmares, the one I remember.
That's SNES. That yeah, they had a lot of that early merchandising.
I really enjoyed Adventure Island for the NES. It's one of my favorite games as a kid. You remember Adventure Island?
Yeah.
Adventure Island ruled, Daniel.
Thanks,
Alright, now, this sounds weird, and there we go, now we're good. Let's do, real quick, Aaron, first game you beat.
Damn, I mean, the first game I beat, I think, would have been the same. It was Super Mario Brothers. I hate to just keep riding that pony, but...
Well, that's fine, that's what the question is.
Riding my Mario.
Did you do the warp pipes and shit?
Absolutely. Once I found... Because then you feel like a badass. You didn't have cheat codes. You didn't have strategy guides or online.
You
You're
found
just
a
like, you
secret.
figured that shit out on your own.
TR?
Mine was definitely Mario also.
Right.
I remember
And that-
beating
and
that.
that's-
But that's just because I had a Nintendo as soon as I was born. My dad already had one, so
Here you go.
I was playing Nintendo from the very beginning. Yeah, that was the first game.
Fuck yes. Daniel?
There's a lot of quit in me. I give up on a lot of games. But the first one I remember beating successfully was Killer Instinct.
Ooh.
I got to the top. I beat the final boss. I got the story. You didn't get any story about any character until you beat the game. You didn't know anything about them other than what was presented to you until you beat the game. I used a skeleton dude. I don't know why I was good. You know what I'm talking about, right? Old Bonesy or whatever his name was. That's who I use. And you think
I
I'd
used
use
Cinder.
Oh, you think I'd use Cinder? Use the fire
Nice.
spell?
I
Yeah.
went Glacius.
Yeah. But now his skeleton didn't beat it. But when I did, I started jumping up and down because I was excited, and the adapter for the SNES fell out of the wall. And there's no saves, you know. You're just fucked.
You beat Killer Instinct before you beat Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I sucked at a lot of games. The only Mortal Kombat I had was for the Game Gear, and you know it's like this big. So you're trying to.
I
Doesn't
definitely
translate.
remember beating
Eyes just bleeding from the backlight.
So, Super Nintendo for me. So the first game I actually beat to completion, Super Mario World.
Oh yeah.
110%.
One of the best. You got your boy Yoshi
Killer
there.
game.
All right, let's see. We have. Let's see. We'll skip this. So we'll go on to this part. All right,
Going
moving.
long, folks.
Oh no, but I like it because there's just so much meat here to talk about. We're gonna move on to a section called Quick Busts. This is where we're gonna talk about the movies of our childhood, but specifically just one. Aaron, what was your favorite childhood movie?
Space Jam.
TR.
It's got to be Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Daniel.
What's that Patrick Swayze movie where he does karate in a bar?
Roadhouse.
Roundhouse, another Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that's a
sneak
movie
show.
for adults, Roadhouse.
All right, now remember that answer, of course. Aaron, turn Space Jam into a porn.
Oh, this is all too easy. It's been done for me. I mean, you just have like it's your perfect marriage of live action and animation, and I mean,
At least
it's going to be Michael Jordan and Lola. They're both of age. There's no problem here.
Murray gets to play finally.
No, she's not going for Murray. She's going. You go if you got Bill
Murray doesn't give you a choice.
or prime time Michael Jordan. You're going for number 23.
We're talking 3 championships.
At this point, 3. Destined for 3 more.
This is the last dance. Michael Jordan we're talking about.
Whatever lets Murray play.
TR, let's turn Back to the Future to a porn.
How could you not turn Back to the Future into a porn?
Marty!
You have a time machine. You can go anywhere you want, whenever you want, and fuck whoever you want.
Exactly.
There's nothing stopping you.
Marty, you can't have sex with your mother. Or can you?
Or he does. Call to the Future.
Daniel, turn Roadhouse into a porn.
Roadhouse is an 80s action movie. It's almost entirely a porn to begin with.
It just needs the sex scenes added into
It
it.
has sex scenes. That's my favorite part of Roadhouse as a child was the sex scene.
Chode House.
Yeah, you got me. I was coming out of my mouth just like it does in Roadhouse.
Exactly.
All right.
Now, Aaron, let's turn that porn into a thriller.
Ooh, okay, a thriller.
A thriller Space Jam.
Let's that is a little more of a thinker. I'm gonna think that we're gonna have a mysterious death among the Toon Squad. You know, let's say Tweety Bird didn't make it, and all eyes are on Sylvester. But of course, being the titular lead character he is, Michael Jordan, also a detective. He's on the case, and he realizes that deception, it's not Sylvester the cat. It's not the most obvious one this time. And he's going to lead you through this whodunit one step at a time.
God, Aaron, what a fucking answer. TR, make that porn a thriller.
It's still a porn, but I have to make it a thriller? Well,
Sure.
Alright, you know, that's what makes Back to the Future the perfect film, because it has comedy, and it has the thrill of the chase, too. You have to convince your mother not to want to fuck you.
That's a
fuck
thrill.
your loser, Dad. That's a thrill. That's hard to do.
He cucks his own dad.
Points
It's
to
not
TR.
pretty.
It's pretty much that whole movie is every genre in one. And then the only genre they couldn't cover, they covered it in part 3.
Let's get Western in there.
Alright, Daniel, let's turn that porn into a thriller.
We just call it Roadhouse on the left, and we just kind of give it a little bit of a horror lean, like there's a little bit of danger. Patrick Swayze, his car breaks down near the Roadhouse, and it's a stormy night, so he goes in there, and it turns out the people inside the Roadhouse are trying to cook him in an oven somehow.
Man, that sounds fucking awesome.
Fucking dope.
I've watched that movie several times. Alright, now let's move into something a little easier to digest here, and then we're going to move into the end game after that. So, real fast, what was your favorite childhood, like, what was your 90s food?
Ooh, a 90s food. That's kind of. I think there are a lot of obvious answers here, but one of the early ones I'm going to go with, I was a sucker for. It was the marketing. It was the sugar, fruit by the foot. I loved unrolling that tape, cramming it all in my mouth.
TR?
Yeah,
Did you eat
Oh,
it?
shit,
Did you
sorry,
eat
Dan.
it an inch at a time, or did you unroll it and wad it?
wide.
I went both ways.
Man, I like Surge. I like fucking 3D jalapeno cheddar Doritos. I
That
wish
is
they
really
bring them back. Not the bullshit that they brought back. That was 3D.
It's not the same.
It's
No,
not
no,
the
no.
same.
Not the
Same.
same.
You gotta make them the same.
You know it's not the same as it was.
But yeah, that kind of stuff. I guess honorable mention to Gushers.
As always, fan of the show, Gus. Daniel?
I had two favorite 90s foods that paired together that I enjoyed them at the same time. It was just a 90s explosion. First of all, gotta start off, one of my favorite 90s beverages, V8 in a can. In the big can.
Boy, I ain't lying.
Full sodium.
You can't beat
Put
it.
hot sauce in it.
But hot sauce in it. Sometimes hot peanuts. Now, the real champion of this dish, though, is when you take the combination of pizza and the bagel and place them together. Because once pizza is on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime. They were either done too much and they were chewy and like burn your mouth, or they were still a little bit frozen, sometimes both.
Yeah.
They were the hot pocket of their day.
Well, both.
I said both.
Perfect. Well, hell. I think it's time for the end game. Today on our nostalgia-driven trip look, oh fuck my butt. Somewhat modern problems with somewhat modern solutions, aka vice versa. Okay, so here's how this is gonna work. I'm gonna give you a 90s problem. You're gonna solve it with a 2000s solution. Then I'll give you a 2000s problem, and you will solve it with a 90s solution.
Okay.
Okay. First up, Aaron. Everyone will take a turn. Let's go through this with Aaron. Your cartridge of Super Mario just isn't wanting to work anymore. Let's fix that with a modern solution.
A modern solution to that, I believe, would be to stick the tip of your dick in alcohol and rub it around the inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they found it on the TikTok. TR?
We're giving goofball answers? I was
Well, yeah,
saying we would
you
use
do
the
whatever
Q-tip
you
and
want.
alcohol and clean the contacts.
See?
See, we're right there.
That works perfect.
I wouldn't use my dick. That would hurt.
Yeah.
God,
Aaron,
circuit
you
board's gonna
fucking
get run the whole-
dumbass.
It's spongy. It's pliable.
computer
Yours
chips
is.
on your penis. You can have peanuts
Anytime.
So you're going to fix it by finding a TikTok content creator who, nice person, who
That's
who takes and repairs old 90s nostalgic cartridges and cleans them out and mods them, puts like a big, I don't know, masturbatory sleeve on the back and like updates it. Let's give it to a content creator to fix it for millions of views.
all right. Now let's go backwards with a 2000s to a 90s. Aaron, your hoverboard has stopped working. What are you gonna do to solve that in the 90s?
In the 90s, I'm going to put Vaseline on it.
God, love it. TR.
Well, you definitely don't use it on water.
What if the
No,
fuck
without
you
the turbo.
fucking do?
Not without the jets to boost it.
No.
Yeah,
You
and
have to have power.
You gotta love. You know how long an extension cable you need? Daniel, give me your
I'll
fucking.
put that hoverboard in my fanny pack and I'll take it down to the local Radio Shack and get those high-powered experts there to fix it.
Oh.
Hey, can any of you guys still remember? Yeah, can you remember the layout of the Radio Shack?
In my mind,
Oh, yes.
can I tell you where the fuses
RC
are and how they're
cars.
organized?
Back
Yes.
left corner.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I know where the 1.5 volts are
Does
at.
that feel good?
No.
Oh, that's nostalgia.
Blank CDs, front right.
Oh! They keep that shit on a fucking end cap, baby! Aaron, back to you with a 90s problem. The Gulf War. How do we solve that in today's society?
Ooh, today's society, Gulf War, we're just going to drone strike them out of existence.
Perfect answer. TR?
We're going to use your drone strike, parking lot, build a new Disneyland.
There it is.
Monetize it.
Fuck it up. Capitalism, democracy.
We need
D-Man.
more
We have Disney buy it out and make it a new Disney Plus series
Yeah.
called
Of the Gulf Shores.
The Gulf. Yeah, it's
We built an ocean in the
it's an
desert.
ocean of oil. He's got like 19.
It's like that song the Hedgehog was.
Disney. But we do UFC fights out there.
Yeah, we do UFC fights.
It's fine. He hits his block. Alright, so, Aaron, back to you. Russia, Ukraine. A modern problem with old school solutions.
We just get Putin and Biden together in a room and let them party, get drunk. You know, you don't hear about that, but man, they were partying back. You just have a good old fucking party, and you don't ask, don't tell. We don't get to know what happens.
Nah. TR.
All old school. Mustard gas, shrapnel mines.
I was about to say.
Yes!
That's how we saw things in the 90s.
Yes, sir. We didn't have no fancy Twitter to tell everyone what's actually
Down
happening.
and
Daniel, come on, bring it home.
We solve the Ukraine thing the way we solved the Gulf War, and that's with George Bush's 1,000 points of light,
Uh-huh.
and just Trump just rain hellfire down on it with nothing but infinite Scud missiles. Just
You can't-
turn
You can't beat it.
it into a parking lot.
Aaron, moving back to you. With Bill Clinton getting caught with his dick sucked in the 90s, how do we solve it today?
How do we solve it today? He just fucking admits to it. It's like, I'm one of y'all. I mean, hell,
What's
you tell
up,
me
man?
y'all don't. Yeah, okay, you're not a fucking person. You don't like to get your rocks off. You just admit this shit now. It's a fucking circus. Who cares?
TR.
Deny it. It was a deep fake.
Ah! Daniel?
We turned it into a new popular TikTok dance that all the kids love to do.
Yeah.
You got the Bill Clinton dick suck. This way you gotta watch the YouTube on that one. That was good.
That's good.
All right, back to Aaron with a modern problem needing an old school solution with Kanye West's anti-Semitism. How do we solve that?
We never gave him a record deal.
That is literally the most 90s answer.
Yeah.
TR, with you, how do we solve it?
It's an old school solution, right?
Old school solution, my man.
Okay. Well, I can't think of any better way. Firing squad?
Ah, yes.
See, I have a very 90s answer that I can't say. I wanted to bring up a certain LA police officer meeting that I can't personally bring up.
Certain couple of
But
guys.
it's Kanye and it's anti-Semitic and it's the 90s. We just make it a bit on SNL.
Yeah. See that or a random episode of Seinfeld, maybe.
Yeah. Jerry!
Kramer comes in. You'll never guess what happened outside, Jerry.
Kanye's being more racist than me!
Who's Kanye? How much should I give a fuck?
Why are my girlfriend's hands so big?
Because my tickets.
Fucking bad.
Alright, Aaron, we're getting towards the end with the grunge movement. How do we solve that problem? And with a modern take.
We subject them to the overall billing of being an indie type of music and don't give them any top cred.
Ah, I love it.
Bury it.
TR, how we killing the grunge movement with today?
Smother them with the top 20, man.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
more Taylor Swift.
More auto-tune.
Yeah. Chicks and Megan Trainor.
All that.
More 21 Savage.
Timeless.
Do your thing,
If we
21.
don't play it, you
How
won't
many-
hear it.
How many things can we get Drake on?
Yeah, Drake just fucking. Oh man, imagine if Drake and Kurt Cobain lived in the same musical timeline.
But then again, you can make it trendy, and that will make it not cool. Also,
Yeah, that's it. Daniel, how we killing the grunge?
I want to say we have modern day Courtney Love go back in time and fight 90s Courtney Love, but
Oh, she did enough damage on her own, bro.
she gets so high she time travels. Hey, yeah. But honestly, the most modern thing we can do is have a modern pharmaceutical company buy out all the grunge movement's heroin, make it prohibitively expensive where they have to ration it like it was insulin, and they all just fucking die.
God, I love it. And to wrap this up today, let's solve one more modern problem with an old school solution. With Amazon. Aaron?
Wow. How do we solve the problem that is Amazon with an old school solution? I think that we just we give them more government subsidies and convince the people it's good. We just sell them on the idea that Amazon is good for you. You know, the government said so you can trust that.
And yeah, the government's never lied. Ask all of them.
They wouldn't do that.
the only way to fix the Amazon problem is to make it bigger. I think Jeff Bezos should be president, and I think Donald Trump.
That's the 90s way to handle
That's how I
shit.
feel about it.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's the best answer to the whole episode. Make it fucking bigger, dude. What we talking?
Just let it choke itself out. Let it become so bloated and obese it suffers under its own weight.
Daniel?
We do the most
United
nice.
States of Amazon.
Don't put that shit because it's coming. This episode is going to be like cited as somebody's history book.
Oh, man.
We did the most nice thing possible, and that's make Jeff Bezos and his time in it. I want to take his like divorce and turn it into a TGIF style sitcom, where like he's got to come get the kids on the weekends, and the new husband's there, and like his wife's the second wealthiest person in the world just from divorcing him. He's got to pick up the kids in his dick-shaped space rocket. Yeah. I want to turn it into like a Perfect Stranger style sitcom.
See if this comes through. Fuck it. This Friday on TJIF, Jeff Bezos is just a normal everyday guy. Until something crazy happens. Daniel?
My wife left me for a school teacher who makes $25,000 a year.
But I'm still the richest man ever.
How can this be? Better threaten to kill Leonardo DiCaprio.
God damn it, what an episode.
Learn how to pity a millionaire this Friday.
Fix your face! You got money, fix your fucking face.
Fuck! Alright, so, hey, that's
Vote
the
Bezos
episode.
2024.
Today, guys, was about the journey. Nostalgia, an industry into itself, constantly eating itself and shitting itself and then eating the shit and then shitting the shit out. The Ouroboros of capitalism, with Stranger Things taking the hint for television. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak's Silk Sonic band that harkens back to the classic R&B. Lizzo's new album, Pure Funk. All harkening back to an older time. We keep reaching back and back. It sounds as if Nile Rodgers was fucking playing the guitar himself. That's a deep cut answer for the 3 people who listen to the show that know what I'm talking about. Nintendo re-releasing its old consoles over and over, different ways, shapes, and forms. We'll buy it. I love it. My final question to all of you today is, with the internet and streaming, memories of the past are easily accessible and no longer something that we have to sit here as we have today and really think about. Will our children, the kids of today, know the feelings that we have now? Aaron.
They will. I mean, nostalgia is a beast you can't stop. It may become a muddied, several-faceted, anxiety-addled fever dream, but they're still going to remember those horrible, horrible good times.
TR.
No, these kids will never understand that. They have never been trying to download an image of a naked woman on 56K internet and then have a call come through on their landline.
God
I don't
damn
think
it.
so.
Mom, I'm fine!
Never understand what it's like to store the images from a free preview tour on a porn site so they can look at it offline without having to take up mom's telephone.
Damn Skippy peanut butter.
I got this on a floppy disk.
I want to say this. There is hope. There is truly hope. I see it in my child. One, she has this Gen Z or Gen Gamma or whatever they are, like, they have hyper nostalgia. They're able to be nostalgic for things that happened weeks ago. Because trends happen so fast to them, they have the ability to be nostalgic faster than we could ever do.
Which is terrifying, because what that tells us is that every day gets worse.
I think it's going to be okay.
I think it's going to be okay too, Daniel.
My kid loves Weird Al. There's hope.
There is always hope. And my boys want to play 1996 Doom.
Right.
I won't let them.
Rightfully so.
Not yet.
Not until they're 13 at least.
Step down the asshole of that demon.
One thing is for sure. You know it's not the same as it was. As it was. You know it's not the same as it was. And if you want to see what else it was, go on down to the Patreon, patreon.com/talkinhogs. Social media is all at Talking Hogs, except for the Twitter that's backwards. But fuck Twitter, because you know what's going on. It's a fucking cesspool. Emails at Gmail when you want to fuck, when you want to suck, you know where we're at. It's going to be talkinghogspodcast@gmail.com. Go ahead and get some hot sauce. Stuff that goes on food. You like food? Make it hot. It's going to be atlburns.com at checkout. Use promo code HOGS15 for 15% off your entire order. That's a lot. That's a fucking lot of money.
It's a lot.
TR, we want to thank you for coming on.
Yay!
Thank you for letting me shit the bed.
No, it's beautiful.
No.
I love it.
I love you so much. You walked through the door and I thought
right.
TR is going to be on the episode today. And we love all you guys at home. And as always, keep hogging.
Keep hogging.
Beautiful.
That's the record.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the record.
How long was that? 2
That's
hours?
That's the